Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Daily Red Devil for all of your latest Manchester United transfer news and talk. Before we get into today's video, if you are watching here for the first time today, please do me a small favour. Make sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner, and be sure to give this video a like. Today, we're going to be mainly focusing on Benjamin Sesko, which is obviously the big developing story at the moment. But before we get into all that, I want to get your thoughts on Benjamin Sesko. Is he going to be a success at Manchester United? Let me know how you're feeling about this transfer in the comment section below. There is so much big news that's dropped since we last spoke. Obviously, the main headline is that Manchester United have submitted a bid. That happened yesterday afternoon. But since then, and I think this is the first, literally has just happened since I've woken up this morning. But the news this morning is that it looks like Benjamin Sesko is going to accept Manchester United's offer or proposal. So I'm going to give you all the different bits of news here. So I'm going to read out, there's about 3 or 4 different journalists reporting this story. So the first one is coming from Fabrizio Romano, who's, let's be honest, the best journalist in the world alongside David Ornstein at the moment. He is reporting that the feeling now is that Benjamin Sesko will wear the Manchester United shirt. He also says that, the next story is coming from Ben Jacobs, who says, Benjamin Sesko has now made it clear that he will join Manchester United. This was all about 2 hours ago, so this was happening overnight. Sky Sports are reporting Newcastle have tried everything to get a deal done for Benjamin Sesko. Their bid is worth more than Manchester United. However, Sesko desires to go to Manchester United. So literally in the last 2 hours, we've had Sky Sports, think of Sky Sports what you want. We've had Fabrizio and we've had Ben Jacobs all saying that it has now been made clear. So this will be obviously a brief from the agent of the player or from the player himself, probably from the agent of the player, effectively saying that he will join Manchester United. He wants to join Manchester United. He doesn't want to join Newcastle. I mean, as much breaking news this is, I think it was kind of obvious that that was the case anyway, realistically, but it's good that we've actually heard this like officially now. The fact that Newcastle submitted a 90 million euros bid 2 days ago and the player isn't wearing a Newcastle shirt kind of sums it up for me. I mean, that is mad, isn't it? You submit a 90 million euros bid and you still can't then sign that player. Manchester United then come in the next day, offer less money, and now it looks like he's going to become a Manchester United player. I mean, it's very, very positive. So yeah, Fabrizio's also saying that the feeling is now even stronger. The club believes Sesko only wants to join Manchester United. They have now forwarded the official contract to the player and they are at the final stages of negotiations with Leipzig. So that's coming from Fabrizio as well. So, I mean, unless an absolute disaster happens, I would say Benjamin Sesko, 95% will become a Manchester United player now. How do we feel about that? Let me know in the comments section. Can we get some words of encouragement for Sesko? Obviously, he is still young. He may take a little bit of time to kind of settle in. Will he be ready for the Arsenal game? I'm not sure. The Arsenal game is a week on Sunday, I believe. Is that right? Week this Sunday? Yeah, it's a week on Sunday. So he hasn't really got very long. What does this mean for Rasmus Hojlund as well? I mean, in an ideal world, right, if we can, I wouldn't have a massive issue with Hojlund staying as well. I think it just gives us more options. Like if Benjamin Sesko has a bad game, yeah, Hojlund can come on. And I think that was what actually went wrong with Rasmus Hojlund at Manchester United. I always said this. The reason that Hojlund struggled, the reason that Hojlund effectively failed was not really his fault, I don't think. I think it was the club who let him down. He didn't have any other strikers to compete with. Martial was injured the whole time. And there wasn't really anyone else, was there? So if he was having a bad game, all of the pressure was on him. We need a goal. He's not getting the ball. He's not getting touches in the box. And then, you know, the pressure mounts. He goes weeks, he goes months without scoring. But if you have both of those two players there, if one of them is having a bit of a bad game, great, Hojlund comes on. Or vice versa. Maybe Hojlund starts the game, yeah? Doesn't play very well. Benjamin Sesko coming off the bench. I mean, how much of an upgrade is that to be able to go from, midway through a game to be able to bring on somebody like a Benjamin Sesko or even to bring on a Rasmus Hojlund? And I wouldn't be desperate to move on Hojlund now, realistically, unless someone's going to offer us decent money. And by decent money, I mean, it would have to be about 40 or 50 million quid for me, pounds. I don't think anything less than that would make any sense. Obviously, we paid, I think, close to 70 for him 2 years ago. His book value is about 40 million. So there's zero reason to sell him at a loss at this stage. He's still young. He still has potential. He still could go on to be a good striker for Manchester United. Maybe not a starting striker, but I think he could be a good option in the squad. So hopefully, fingers crossed, this Benjamin Sesko deal gets announced today. I think it will. I think we'll get the here we go probably today, realistically. He's made it very clear via intermediaries, i.e. his agent, that he wants to join Manchester United. And we know about this special relationship that Sesko has with Leipzig and this kind of gentleman's agreement that if a special club comes along, Manchester United apparently being one of those special clubs, that they would allow him to leave. And, you know, being completely honest here, right? It's not like the offer we've put forward is bad. You know, we've offered them a hell of a lot of money. We have offered them 75 million euros up front, plus 10 million euros in add-ons. So, you know, it's not like we've gone into the market weeks after the negotiations start and said, oh, here's 20 million. We've still offered a very, very substantial amount of money. We've offered them 65 million up front, plus a further 10 million in add-ons. So the total package would be around 74 million pounds if all of the add-ons are met, which doesn't always happen. Although apparently with Manchester United's add-ons, they're being described as easy to achieve. Whereas the difference being Newcastle's bid was bigger, but it had harder to achieve add-ons, which obviously makes it a little bit more complicated to do. So there's a lot to unravel here, but the main kind of positive news here is it looks like Benjamin Sesko will become a Manchester United player. Unless an absolute disaster happens now, but I don't really see how that could happen. You know, like I said, we've offered them a decent amount of money. We've offered them, I would say, a fair amount of money. And all we need to do now is just to get this deal over the line, which I think will happen. Obviously, it might not happen this morning. It might not happen this afternoon. But I think by the end of this week, I reckon Benjamin Sesko will become a Manchester United player. And we just have to hope and pray that he's available for that game against... the game against Arsenal, first game of the season, because we desperately need him for that game, realistically. So, yeah, fingers crossed we can get him over the line. I think we will. But, yeah, I'd love to get you guys' thoughts on this one in the comment section. What is your thoughts? Let me know. Are you excited about this deal? Is this the right signing? I mean, realistically, it's kind of a stupid question because there isn't really any other option left. Obviously... we are not going to get Gyökeres. He's gone to Arsenal. We're not going to get Jonathan David, obviously. So I think we've kind of gone past the point of that. I think what we really should be looking at is how excited are we for Benjamin Sesko? I think we need to get behind him. He is still someone who's learning. He's still young. You know, he might have a bad game here and there. So we have to be patient with him. But I'm really excited. I think he's going to be an absolutely incredible talent in the future. So yeah, nothing but positivity towards Benjamin Sesko for me. And I think a better question would actually have been this: what do you think is a realistic goal target for his first season at Manchester United? Let me know your thoughts on this one in the comment section. How many goals do you think would be like a good first season for Benjamin Sesko? I'm going to say, how many goals would be a good season for Benjamin Sesko? I would probably say, I mean, if he can get 15 goals in the Premier League, that would be amazing. I would say 15 goals in the Premier League. I guess it's only going to be Premier League goals. We're not in Europe, are we? I would say 15 goals would be a good season, good first season in the Premier League. I would be very happy with that. But again, you can let me know your thoughts on this one in the comment section. How are we feeling this morning, guys? I see we have a super chat coming in. Let me find out where that's gone. We have a super chat coming in from Ray. Thank you very much, Ray. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Ray says, I think Sesko is coming to a different situation from Hojlund. There is more support. I would also keep Hojlund as backup. I think Sesko has a chance. Great. I would agree with you there, Ray. I think it is a slightly different situation, realistically. Obviously, when Hojlund joined, the only other striker was Martial, who is just injured all the time, right? But yeah, I just think if we can keep both of them, it would be really, really positive. It's what we've been asking for, right? We need two strikers, and then Chido Obi can be the third striker. Maybe even Chido Obi gets a last-minute loan move. I mean, imagine how good that would be for Chido, right? If we could loan Chido out to the Championship for a season, imagine how much he would develop, opposed to just sitting on our bench. So my ideal situation would be Hojlund stays as the backup, and Chido Obi gets a loan move to like the Championship or something like that. You know, just go, like Ahmad did. Remember, guys, Ahmad went to Rangers, then he went to Sunderland. Ahmad was here for about 3 or 4 years before he actually broke into the first team. I think we paid about 15 million for Ahmad, right? We that's big money. He was young when we bought him. We paid about 15 million for him, potentially even more. Let me just double check how much the fee was. Yeah, we paid 21 million euros, so about 15 million pounds, right? That was in 2021. We then loaned him out to Rangers. Then we loaned him out to Sunderland. Then he came back to Manchester United, and he only really broke into the first team last year. And he's been here since 2021. So it was about 4 years from the point of signing Amad Diallo to when he actually started getting game time. So I think, you know, if we could try and replicate that with Chido, that would be amazing. Send him off to the Championship. Let him go and get some experience. Hopefully he bangs in loads of goals. He comes back, you know, a more complete player, and then we can properly implement him into that squad. And maybe next summer we look to sell Hojlund, and Chido becomes the kind of backup striker to Sesko. So I think it's looking positive, guys. I really do. I'm happy about this. I think it's a very, very good deal for Manchester United. I think the fee is decent as well. £65 million is not bad. I think what Newcastle offered was stupid. They offered 90 million euros, which is about 80 million. So they offered 15 million pounds more than us, which is kind of mad, no? The fact they offered 15 million more and he's still not on a flight to Newcastle, that's kind of crazy. I can see someone asking about his injury record. So, wow, that is impressive. So in his whole career, yeah, bear in mind he's been playing in the Champions League for the last 4 years. In his whole career, he's missed 13 games, and that was in 2021. So he hasn't missed a game through injury since 2021. And that was because of a torn muscle fiber, whatever that means. So his injury record is good. No games missed in 3 seasons. The last time was in 2021. I mean, that's good, I think. Very good. When you think that he's been playing in the Champions League as well for... Yeah, I'm just having a look here. Yeah, he's obviously played in the Champions League, the Europa League. He's played in... Has he played in World Cup? Probably. So yeah, this is a great deal. I'm very, very excited about it. I think... Ryan says he'd rather sort the midfield than go for Sesko. I still think we'll get a midfielder, Ryan, to be honest. There's still like 3.5 weeks left of the window. So I'm relatively confident we'll still get a midfielder. I think players will start to leave now. I think we'll see Garnacho, Anthony and Sancho go. That will probably be 100 million there. And I think at that point, we'll start then looking at midfielders. Like I said, there's 3.5 weeks left of this window. I think there's plenty of time. There's plenty of time left to get some deals done. So I wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't get over paranoid about, or not paranoid. I wouldn't get overly worried about it. I think we just got to be patient here, which is a bit annoying, but yeah, it's just how it is, isn't it? Right, I think that's everything I have for today's show, guys. I don't want to go... I just want to try and make it a short and concise video. If anybody has any comments to get in, jump in now. Let's have a look. Let's see. Somebody said Newcastle will get Vlahovic. I mean, that's such a downgrade. I'm sorry. Nicholas says we need to keep Hojlund. He came into United at a horrible time, and I really think with the support we've just bought, he'll come good. I agree with you, Nicholas. I think, like I said, a lot of Rasmus Hojlund's failings is actually on Manchester United. It's actually on the board, who didn't bring in an experienced striker. We let Rashford go. We didn't replace him. We let Ronaldo go. We didn't replace him. Hojlund had the world on his back, and he's a Manchester United fan as well. So imagine the pressure, right? You're a young kid moving to one of the biggest clubs, if not the biggest club in the world. It's also the club you support. and you're expected to lead the line for that club, and there's nobody else looming over you trying to take your spot. There isn't. There wasn't. There was Martial, and he was just injured all the time. So I've always stood by this, that obviously Hojlund's not been a success, but I think a lot of that is down to Manchester United's poor ability to develop him and poor ability to give him a structure in which he could flourish. So, yeah, I definitely agree. If we have the power and the financial power more to keep Hojlund as well, that's definitely something we should be looking at. So, yeah, Kieran, how credible is the source? It's Fabrizio Romano, so you can decide how credible Fabrizio is. It is Ben Jacobs. It is Sky Sports. So those are the three people reporting it. Fabrizio, I would say tier 1 source, probably the most reliable journalist in the world, bar David Ornstein. Ben Jacobs, who's been very good this window. Sky Sports, who are not great, but so I would say, yeah, it's reliable. It's very reliable. Fabrizio doesn't put out fake stories, does he? So I think we'll probably get a here we go today, is my guess. Obviously, we still have to wait for Leipzig to agree our fee that we've offered. Who would be my ideal midfielder? I still like Edison from Atalanta. I don't think we're going to get him, but I like him. I'd probably say him if I had to pick one off the top of my head. Yeah, I'd probably say Edison from Atalanta, realistically. I think he's a solid player, but I'm open to suggestions though. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to wrap the video up here, guys. There's 676 people here. Everybody who's here, please make sure to subscribe before you go. I think we're the first channel to react to this story today. So yeah, make sure you subscribe and give the video a like as well. I'd really, really appreciate your support on this one. But yeah, also don't forget to get in the comments and let me know your thoughts on Benjamin Sesko. Looks like he's going to become a Manchester United player. Have a great day, everybody. Hopefully we get the here we go a little bit later on today. And I will speak to you all tomorrow. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye for now.